Hello. It's been a while I made a video, but I think it's about time to make a video about Trump's elections. It's been a few interesting weeks. I thought, well, it turns out Trump did win, but it's not really. He was able to win the Congress. He's basically control of the government. And says that he's been picking on his pick for his cabinet. The whole thing is I just feel disappointed. Like, let's put it this way. Like, at first, I was a little bit in shock. Like, the guy was able to seize everything, because you would think that people would realize the threat that Donald Trump will have for their society. But yet, the one thing that I realized watching the reaction of the people, all of those things, people are just dumb. There's no simplest reaction. You see the liberal meltdown of basically saying that we didn't cater enough to the fascists, so we should have catered to them even more. And then they blame the extreme left, which essentially they talk about trans and that kind of things. It's like when they talk about the extreme left, they're talking about the cultural war crap, the people that basically have no power, and they're blaming the people blaming trans and LGBTQ. They're blaming Palestinian, anti-Palestinian, all the Palestinian. They're blaming people who literally have basically no power for their loss. And they said they should have catered more to the right wing. Now, of course, and this idea of it is the extreme left, which really is just the left, is like just like the social democrat or whatnot. The actual extreme left will be the socialists and the communists or the anarchists who wants to take over government. Those will be considered like extreme left. But no, for them the extreme left will be like, a trans woman is a woman. That's the extreme left for them. The people that as such a minute difference in the society, they think it's their fault. Like, just to think of the transphobia that exists, only 0.6% of the population are trans. And they think that these are the people that caused the cause the election, the people who support, so it's like you should defending trans rights, or those are the people who lost the elections. I mean, it's insane. It's like you're blaming a tiny group of people for the loss, which basically you're saying that we should cater more to the fascists. The more the people says they don't recognize that these people exist. They want to deny their existence. They want to deny the LGBTQs, the rights, and all those things. They want to deny minorities, and of course, they're blaming the people who want to stop the genocide. Those are the people who lost the elections. Those are the cause of the end of the elections, which is insane. Like, the answer is not let's give in to the fascist rhetoric. You don't let fascism win. If you just give 1 inch to fascism, they're just going to take all of it. They keep. There's a paradox. They call it the paradox of tolerance. The intolerant do not give a shit about the tolerant people, and by allowing the intolerant, they will consume the tolerance. What you will see about the social fascists, aka the liberals, those people try to say they're centrist. They're pandering to the right. They pander the border issue. They gave into the border issue. They gave into the migrant issue. They gave in to the they gave it to those kind of major issue, which only shows that these people don't really have any guts. Like, even like they're just little. They don't actually have a value that says we care for people. Like, the fact that that they think that they can reason with fascists proves they're delusional. The way they try to position themselves, they try to say, okay, we're not that insane as you think you are. When the fascists, they don't give a shit about what you have to say, and they continually push the boundary over and over and over again and again and again and again, and they're just going to bulldoze through you and just say, I don't give a shit what you have to say. You guys are communists. You guys are fascists. They even call, like, oh, the woke mob is like, that's the new form of fascism. And what do you say? No, you guys are fascists. Like, oh, how dare you? How dare you? They're calling us fascists. When you act like a fascist, you are a fascist. Fascism is a conservative ideology. That is something that people do not get. Fascism, it is when the conservative establishment takes zero control of the state and uses state power to crush the left, uses identity politics, and why do you only use the state power? Because it's all about chaos and order. They view the left as chaos, and they're the agent of order, and they want to maintain order in society. Why do they want to do that? Because they want to maintain the power, control of capital control. They can maintain, yeah. So they're going to hate on trans, they're going to persecute the LGBTQ, they're going to scapegoat the immigrants, all of those things. And they're always going to want a stronger state. Always. It's not going to change. It is not they will have no problem spending billions on military force, whether it's the police, the military, whatever, when it's going to be cheaper to just simply give them healthcare, UBI, things that actually help the condition of people, actually helping them the material condition. It's going to be far cheaper. We have countless studies that shows this. But is the truth actually matters to these people? Of course not. To be a fascist, they have no problem being a fascist if they can spend billions on fascism. They don't care about money. But as soon as we say something like, let's actually give free healthcare, let's actually give free education, let's say build a high-speed train or whatever. As soon as you start talking about let's improve the quality of life of people, then when that happens, like, at what cost? At what cost do we have to do these things? What's the cost of it? It's always that question. At what cost? But it's never have at what cost at what cost we're going to have to spend more on military and waste and actually crush the minorities. What are the costs of that? Never question. Instead, it was oh no, who cares? Who cares about the cost? We just gotta get it done. This is the hypocrisy of conservatism. Complete and utter hypocrisy. They have no bloody problem spending billions on wars, billions on police, but they have an issue if you actually dare improving the quality of life of people. And they also going to try to use the morality of it. Like, if they're a Christian, they have no problem using being a Christians, we can't use the state to help the people. It has to be voluntarily. But they have no problem using the state to execute the LGBTQ, to basically hate on gays, to use the state law to discriminate against the LGBTQ. They have no problem using the state to do these things. And that is a just moral thing to do in the name of God. That is just utter bullshit nonsense. In other words, you want to use the Bible as a weapon to discriminate against people. And you don't give a shit to actually helping people. There's always this like blind double standard of what we can use the state and what we cannot use the state for. There's this gross double standard, and it utterly disgusts me when I see Christian tries to use the Bible to justify the bigotry, and then say no, we can't do this for helping the poor and the needy. No, that goes against Christian values. It has to be voluntarily. The idea that an economic system is voluntary in the first place, like me participating in a capitalist society, it's not a voluntary choice. I don't volunteer to work on a dead end job. I don't I don't have a choice to go work for somebody else in order to put food on my table or pay my bills. That's not a voluntary choice. I don't have a choice on whether or not I can participate in the society. Like like a lot of people say, but what about you go off grid? What about you just go to homestead? Oh, okay. So you want me to build my own homes? Sounds neat. Let's actually examine that idea. For example, you need to buy the land. You need to buy the wood. You need to buy capital in order to build your farm, to build that homestead that you want to do. You need to buy the tools that is needed to build that home. You need to buy the grains, the seed, the whatever to start those kitchen. Where's that money coming from? Like this is an issue where people will say like, oh, you don't like working for? Yeah, just start your own business. Where the money for the starting the business comes from? Where's that money? Do you think I can just magically appear that capital out of thin air? Unless you're born into wealth, then of course you can get a small loan of $1 million from your parent. Wow, a small loan. And they literally had a conservative telling me, oh yeah, Donald Trump only received a small loan of $1 million, as if it is something that is natural that every Joe can able to get. And I find this kind of conversation to be disgusting. And what it has to do with Trump elections. Let's go back. And I got off to this huge tangent about voluntarily all of those things. So Donald Trump, I just learned this. I just learned this yesterday. There was some student that was frozen since the pandemic, and because of Biden's freezing, trying to give it sooner relief and all blah 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 blah. Yeah. What it's going to do, what Trump is planning to do, is unfreeze all of those things. Not only is all of those people who got debt relief, they all have to all those blockage. Yeah, they have to all of a sudden have to pay all of them back. Not only have to pay them back, there's going to have a higher interest rate to get them to pay even more. This is the guy. And you think that this guy is going to work for your people? They want to, this guy who's going to literally impoverish students? That is basically a form of slavery? Yes, I know conservatives don't think about that as a form of slavery. I get that. Because we have been normalized that is a normal thing. No, that is a form of slavery. Why is it a form of slavery? Because you're now bound to someone else's money. They want more money over time. And as time progresses, when you have an entire society that's been happening for 50 years, guess what? The cost of goods continues to lower down. Forgiveness of debt actually helps to give more money in their pockets. The only people that actually hurts is the rich billionaires who's not able to get an extra million in their pocket. Wow. I don't have an extra million and you don't have a fucking billion in my account. Oh, how dare an extra person that making $20,000 a year or 60 or 30,000 having extra $500 in their pocket. It is actually going to be better. It's going to allow them to spend that money in the economy, and they're able to purchase more things. And here's another thing he's planning to do. Like, one of the biggest talking point of conservatives of, well, one of the biggest point about I completely lost my chain of thought. I was talking about that. If he comes back to me, he's going to come back to me. Here's another policy that he's planning to do. He wants to abolish the credit bureau or something like that, credit bureau protection, something like that. Why? Oh, because people who this is an agency who's able to protect a customer from credit frauds, and they might get charged for things that are fraudulent and whatnot, and they will find these people that have been wrongly charged for things, and get their money back to them. And the only people that is a benefit is all for the billionaire. Because they lose money. Because the average person actually get their money back that has been stolen from them. And here, that's the kind of people that Trump is putting in the administration to protect workers. Like, Trump has put more billionaires in his administration than any other president. And of course, he's put war hawks in his charge of his Minister of Defense, blah, 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 protection. Literally war hawks who just wants war with Iran, pro-Zionist, war with China. And yet, the whole idea is like anti-war is nonsense. And don't forget, he received $100 million for by Zionist group, where a lady, I forget her name, essentially to annex the West Bank. Right, he's good. Like those who voted for Trump because of they thought it is going to be better for the Palestinian. Are you fucking out of your mind? Like, let's talk about the voter base. It's like, there's a lot of people who talks about it, like how they talk about the migrant invasions, who's destroying America because of bringing fentanyls and all those things. A lot of the people who are like undocumented migrants, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. If you're undocumented, you should not be able to vote. But you see some interviews say, yeah, I'm voting for Trump because I'm a law-abiding citizen, even though I'm undocumented. I just don't like the one who commits crimes. I just want these people put to God. It's never about them. It's always thinking about somebody else, somebody outside of the community that are the problem. And it's always like this. And the people are continually, like, it's like there's this voter base who both voted for AOC and Donald Trump. Why? Because on a superficial level, this sounds the same. They want some change in America, even though they're complete opposite in their politics. Just because they're like, oh yeah, they're fighting for the regular Joe. They're not really establishment. That kind of things. It's the delusion that people has is astounding. Oh, here's another thing. Going back to that thing, yeah. I actually said, oh yeah, so let's use the Bible. Okay, how about doing debt forgiveness? That was something that ancient Israel did every 70 years or every 50 years. And again, this every once again. There's like every 7 years, like the release prisoners, or every 50 years they cancel debts, or something along those lines. I never truly understand that thing Israel has, and that's something I need to really focus. But the point is, they practice debt forgiveness. And you know what, people actually said when I bring this up to them? We can't do it. Oh, that's back then. It has nothing to do today. Our economy is more complicated now. It's always excuses. Always excuses of not helping the poor. There's always some sort of stupid, retarded reason to say, no, we cannot help the poor and the needy. There's no real... There's always some sort of retarded reason why the policy to help the poor is not being done. It's just another thought. And I know this video is more a rant, but I just have to kind of like, I have to let it out because it's been building up inside of me for the past few weeks. Then let's discuss the issue of tariffs. The tariffs is going to be a complete disaster for the economy, for their economy. Of course, nothing has changed. Same old, same old. For those who doesn't understand what a tariff is, and yes, there's lots of videos explaining it, but it is a tax of imported goods. So basically, it's not a foreign company who pays it. The import is the local customers, because when a company get that tariffs. Against that tariffs, of course, is not going to consume that cost. It's going to pass on that cost to the consumer. After all, business wants to make money. They don't want to lose profit. Basic Econ 101 crap. When you put a 25% tax on all goods, like, by the way, China, something like China, Mexico, and Canada is like something like 45% of all goods comes from those countries, and you're putting a 25% tax plus a 10% for Chinese goods, and in some cases up to 60% tariffs that Trump wants to do. Do you know that tariffs is going to crash the economy? Tariffs will work if you're like, there's instances that tariffs actually works if you're trying to promote a local industry. However, when you put a tariff on a banana or an exotic product, that good is going to cost you more. It's going to cause inflation. Like maple syrup is there will be a U.S. import. That's also going to cost the U.S. economy as well, because guess what? There is no maple tree in the U.S. as far as I know, so they can't grow. They can't have local manufacturing for that kind of things. So of course that is going to that is going to cost a lot of their money, the capital. Is it going to cost people money? It's going to rise to goods. Like, there's already some estimate that if Trump is going through his tariff plan, is going to cost about something like between $2,000 to $3,000 more per household. People will have to spend something like between $2,000 to $3,000 a year, plus the student loan stuff. it is going to be, the result of this is going to be disastrous, utter disastrous. And a lot of people issue they voted for Trump because of the economy. They think that it is going to be a better economy. Oh, now I don't remember what I was going to say. The thing is that people, as I was saying, they think Trump would be better for the economy. What they fail to realize is all of those problems I just mentioned. And of course, as I already talked about the credit bureau, which people is going to, they're not going to be able to get their money back in order to being frauded. Then there is also the issue of Project 2025. Conservatives went on to say, oh, that is just fear-mongering. That's never going to happen. That's some conspiracy crap. You know who was just appointed as one of Trump's cabinet ministers? The head of Project 2025. Any person who keeps saying that Project 2025 is just fear-mongering, you need to shove up your ass and shut up. Get you just have to boot up. You just have to boot up your ass and shut the fuck up. You're just a fucking liar. And yes, there's like some people like Matt Walsh, who literally said the day after, oh yeah, Project 25 is on a go. That was our project. Their lies, and the people believes this crap, that there's just fear mongering. Oh please, get over yourself. They know, of course, we're talking, so what's... So, what is happening next? And I'm going to need to make a video. Why do I care so much about U.S. politics? Why does it matter to me? And I'm going to make a video on that, and probably be my next video. It's probably be part 2, to be honest, most likely. Going back of what I was saying about tariffs. It's going to sting the economy at Project 25. If you think the economy is so I talk and there's one area I have not talked about. I talk about Israel. Of course, he's going to be very harsher. Israel will be even more hard on Palestinian. He's going to unleash Israel to do whatever the hell they want on Palestinian, allowing the West Bank, whatever, guarantee. We know that I talk about the immigration thing. They're talking about, beside deportation of like 20 millions, which as I already stated that they have no money to spend all kinds of for it. The one that I did not mention is also planning to, it's not only the illegal immigrants are after, they're also after the legal ones. Like their entire frame is like, oh, we don't only care about the illegals. No. They care about, they just want immigrants out. They don't want, it's not only illegal, they frame the issue as illegal, when in reality, it's both illegal and legal. How do we know this? Well, let's go back to what Trump said during his debate with Kamala Harris. They eating the dogs. They eating the cats. They eating the cats. They eating the dogs. The whole Haitian migrant crap. That the Haitian migrant are invading this town, and there are illegal immigrants. When you start digging into the story, it's pure fear mongering. The whole like Haitian eating cats and dogs is like every evidence that is showed, it was debunked. It's not happening. Yes, in the culture they're doing it. It does not mean it is actually. They're doing that in Portland, Ohio. And every single evidence, they're taken out of context. There's a lot of time, it's not even them doing it. They're lies. Like every single story that has been said. And some of those stories that came out is from a neo-Nazi trial called with the blood feud and blood ties or something like that. And I always love that when you start, and consider it was like, oh, I hate Nazis and all that. It's like, okay, but every single time you try to like start peeling off the layers, Nazism is like right in the foundation. It's always there, always lurking around. But if they don't want to deal, they want to deal with how Nazism is right around the corner every single time. And it always happens. Like here's a story. Like Twitter, the battle of free speech and all that is So ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, neo-Nazis are going haywire. He's promoting neo-Nazi account left, right, and centers, and more like liberal than left-wing account. They're getting banned. Like when they talk about free speech, they're talking about conservative speech. Anything that is really left of them, they're getting banned. That's basic. And we know that Elon Musk has banned journalists off his platform because he was critical to him while promoting right-wing accounts. Anything that, and we also just recently learned that, this is about Elon Musk. Even talking about Elon Musk. Okay, that's a story in itself, and I cannot distract myself, but I really need, there's just so much stuff to talk about. At the end of the day, so yeah, you peel it off, there's Nazism right there. And just the other day, I learned that was talking about that his grandparents were literal Nazis, Canadian Nazis who were part of the Nazi Party, came to apartheid Africa because they thought that the Canadian government was too progressive. I'm going to need to talk about the Canadian government and its history at another time to just really highlight how crazy this statement really is. The Cliff Note version of this: Canada welcomed Nazis in its border while banning communists out of its borders. We had the residential schools for the Aboriginal, which the official policy of it was to kill the Indian. I'm going to leave that. And it was not until in 1991 the last residential school was closed. I'm going to leave that as a bookmark for another time. Okay. So yeah, I was another person just recently. I was debating about like socialism, blah 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 blah. Is a conservative. He gave me this book called Project Socialism as a way to prove that socialism is a leftist ideology, that Nazism was a leftist ideology. What is Project Socialism? Was the main ideology that the Nazis used? I'm not going to go into details of the Project Socialism in this video. That would be an tangent. However, the point I was making is that I never actually read the book. I know the general idea of it. At some point, I'm going to have to read it, but I don't even know the name of the author. When he put a picture of the book, he had the name of the author, and I did a quick Google search of who this guy is. He was part of a movement called revolutionary conservatives. He was not a leftist. He calls himself a conservative. His movement was a conservative movement. When I point out to him, they said no. That's my point of every time that you start to slightly dig on these people, Nazism is right around the corner. Every single time. Mike Walsh literally calls himself a theocratic fascist. That is on his Twitter profile bio. The guy's in charge of the deportation. He's a freaking neo-Nazi. He's a little neo-Nazi. and Trump is put in charge of deportation. That's a story he's not talking enough, but he's actually a neo-Nazi. He has ties to neo-Nazism. G.P. Vance also wrote books and supported neo-Nazi movements. Yeah. Funny how those things work. One of the things that a story that I just recently learned, a KKK chapter has been since the Trump election, has been going around doing putting flyers off, basically saying, haha, we're coming for you, you're illegal immigrants. If you know illegal immigrants, please call this number. Literally, they're trying to a KKK group is going around basically giving flyers to kill immigrants, and you see that Uncle Sam kicking a picture of Uncle Sam kicking the boot of an immigrant. And we see this kind of things happening over and over. Matt Gaetz, like, the idea that people that the conservative cares about law and order. Trump is a convicted felon. Like 34 felony, felony charges, and he has 93 charges against him. It's like he has all kinds of fraudulent activities that this dude has done time and again. Not including instant reaction, and all that. Now, conservatives have no problem supporting this dude. Why? Because they like him. The laws doesn't apply to him because that's what they believe. Because they think he's the good guy. Only the people. The laws is only for their enemies. Do not apply equally to everyone. And and this kind of mindset has been very highlighted by on Piers Morgan Uncensored, where they're having debates with people and all of that. One of the guys, this comes after the ICC warrants, and basically he's that guy. I forget his name, but essentially he, of course, the conservatives absolutely hate the warrants and all of that by the ICC. They think it's illegal and they're losing their mind. And that's actually the only one good news that we had in the past month. That Netanyahu and another a guy in Israel are being charged. And And now it says now they have been charged. Consider the thing is unjustified. They even threatened to invade the Hague in Netherlands if they ever try to arrest Netanyahu. That is how insane they are. They don't give a shit. And this guy on Piers Morgan basically made it very clear that if you allowed this to happen, that will also mean that you agree that the U.S. should be charged. And there are some people that say, of course, the U.S. president should be charged. Like people they commit war crimes all the bloody time. Of course, they should be charged, arrested for the crimes that the U.S. has committed. Of course, anything that was an absolute crazy idea to even consider, which only shows the mentality that the U.S. can never do wrong. They should be above the law, and also it comes back to the people like Donald Trump should be able to be above the law. Who's another example of this? Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is another example of a conservatives being above the law. And he's basically like, he's been being accused of sex trafficking, of course, sexual assault with minor, blah 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 blah, pedophilia. Anyways, there is some really bad shit with this guy. I am not going to go into detail, but the point is, a person who's being charged with crimes while being a senator, Trump basically putting in charge of the entire legal system, the U.S. legal system. Do you think that this is going to be a good thing for the U.S.? Do you think he's going to care about actual being equal before the law? I'm going to say this. It's going to be a hell of a crazy time. That's the entire point. It's like you guys have put it in a fashion, and this time around compared to last time there were people who stood up against Trump, and he hated it. Now he's only putting people lower the list. Second friend who's going to do Trump bidding no matter what, and it's going to be worse, far worse than it was before. And you think and it is going to be it's going to be an insane time. And there is going to be some world ramification because of this. Now, I just talk about, and by the way, he has put all kinds of anti-labor people in power. Like, it's, as I said, he put the most billionaire in charge. Now, going back to Elon Musk. There's a video that you can watch where they ask, where is the George Soros of the right? And you see Elon Musk waving his hand saying, that's me, that's me, I'm the George Soros of the right. For those who doesn't understand the significance of that statement, the right always talks about how the Democrats are going to control about George Soros, who's funding all kinds of programs to benefit them. Elon Musk, the world richest man in the world, literally spent something like $200 million, $200 million in Trump's campaign. He was part of it. He was all of that. He's literally inside of Trump's inner circles. They even created this department called DOGE of energy sectors. Like basically, it is an unofficial body where Elon and Vivek can brainstorm and where they can bring some ideas they can put on. We don't know exactly if it's going to be an actual government body or whatnot. We don't know, but in any case, Elon is literally taking part of election process. And he was when Trump called Zelensky. Oh right, I was going to talk about the Ukraine. Anyways. There's so much stuff to talk about. Okay. Okay. So you have going back to what I was saying. Okay, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I try to get my thoughts. Okay. So you have Elon Musk, who literally declares that he's like the George Soros of the right, and the conservatives are not saying a word about it. They talk about the conservatives always talk about like we're anti-corruption, blah 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 blah. They don't like it's like this is not a conservative hypocrisy. They like the kind of billionaire that they want to have. They disagree the kind of billionaire that goes against their agenda. Those are the bad billionaire that they are against. Those are the deep state billionaire. But they don't have problem billionaires that have the same kind of values that they have. It just highlights the hypocrisy. It's considered a melting down on the fact that Trump has the most billionaire in his cabinet than any other president in history right now? Of course not. Now, I'm going to discuss one last topic, and then I'm going to end this video. I have talked about the economy. Project 2025 is coming, which basically, okay, I actually mentioned it, but if you don't know what a Project 2025 is, essentially, the best way to put it, any workers' right remaining is getting abolished. They want to destroy the administrative state. They want to destroy things like the FDA, CDC, Homeland Security, FBI. They're gutting so much of the administrative state. It's while at the same time banning things like porn, banning things like criminalizing LGBTQ. You can't even talk about gender in education. You're going to they're literally like promoting this fascism. Also, climate change. I almost forgot to talk about that. Drills. They want to basically anything about like renewable energy, energy carrier, those kind of things are completely being scrapped and drilling more oil. Drill. Do not give a damn about climate change. And there's also the it's like anti-labor, like they're talking about like basically abolishing overtime pay. Talking about, there's a story that came out, a Trump-appointed judge literally abolish a legislation that Biden put into place, which allows to people to have overtime pay. If they're making about $32,000 a year and less than $60,000 a year. I didn't even know that's how the U.S. system operates, because here in Canada, overtime pay, there is no cap. There's no like wealth cap to for overtime pay. They only conditions that I know of this is actually only in PEI. I'm not sure about other provinces. If you and PEI is more like a seasonal type of province economy, and seasonal worker, it is up to the discretion of the employer if they have overtime pay or not. Which, of course, capitalists will choose not to give overtime pay. Personal experience, I work at a vegetable farm. I work 70, 80-hour work week at that place, and none of us have received overtime pay for those hours, even though we work more than, yeah. And technically, above 40 hours, you're technically on overtime pay. Technically. Other companies, like the fish plant, which is on PI, fish plant don't give overtime pay if you on the 55 hours you don't they don't pay overtime, but above 55 hours they will pay you overtime. Again, because of under seasonal contract. And then an employer, a capitalist, will always going to try to do, how can I make the most profit? And if they can screw the worker, they will do so. That's basically class warfare. Basically basic Marxism 101. It's not that hard to understand. Those people, the class warfare doesn't exist. That's literally an example of that on top of my head. Like it's there everywhere. Like the NTU, like okay, so going back to what I was saying. Yeah, drills. Oh, like it's like I have not, and I've not read the whole 900 pages document. From what I read, it's like it's just insane. And I know and I just want to. This is something that I've learned in the last couple months, but it's very important. Since Ronald Reagan, Heritage Foundation and the Conservative Party has been basically intertwined with each other. And on average, over 60% of every single elections, every single presidential term, the Heritage Foundation always publish a policy book that they want the constitution to follow. I did not know that existed until the first of 2025, and I started doing some digging to learn about the history. And on average, says Ronald Reagan, the Conservative Party, the GOP, will always enable 60% of that policy. Trump, and last time in his term, he enacted about 66%. And they were saying 2/3 of their policy, Trump were enabled them. 2/3. That's literally, like, if you actually look on, like, if you go on Heritage Foundation, that's literally what they say. That they're so happy with the work that Donald Trump did. They enacted 2/3 of their policies. So we can estimate, since now we know for a fact that the head of Project 2025 is in Donald Trump cabinet. 60% of that 900 pages policy book will be enacted. That's going to cause major economic economic consequences. You're going to experience shock doctrine. This is something, the shock doctrine, I can really go into detail. That in itself, it's a huge topic. But I'm pretty sure the reason that the shock doctrine got its name, it was because that's what Milton Friedman called it. Where he's basically shocked our economy to basically a number of neoliberal policies. It's like neoliberal policy that really shake the foundation of their economy. It's and it's things like austerity measures, stronger government over the market. It is going to be extremely devastating. And